We're going to go over limitations on parliamentary supremacy, including the two main ones, which are the effect of European Union law and the effects of the Human Rights Act 1988. We'll start off with European Union law simply because I think it's easier to learn. Well, you might not, but I just think it is anyway. The UK joined the EU in 1973 when Parliament passed the European Communities Act 1972. Now, it is theoretically possible for later Parliament to make an act that withdraws us from the EU so that we leave it and do not have to follow European Union law, but political reality does make it very unlikely, since European Union law is a benefit to this country, as many would argue. Membership of the EU affects our law to the point where it takes priority over our own law. And this can be seen in the Merchant Shipping Act 1988, which stated that 75% of directors and shareholders in relation to fishing boats registered in Britain had to be British. But the European Court of Justice ruled that this was contrary to the European Union law, and so this had to change. Also, the other limitation on parliamentary supremacy, like I said, is the effect of the Human Rights Act 1988. Basically, all acts of parliament have to be compatible with the European Convention of Human Rights, and that can be challenged on the basis that it contravenes with the convention. Under Section 4 of the Human Rights Act, the courts do have the power to declare an act incompatible with the convention, and this can be seen in H. First Mental Health Review Tribunal, where the law on the Mental Health Act 1983 contravened the Human Rights Act, and so the government had to change the law. And basically what happened was there was a patient who applied to leave mental hospital, but the burden of proof was on that patient to prove that they were fit to do so. But it was up to the state to prove that they had to continue in the mental hospital. They had to stay in the mental hospital. Or something like that. I'm a bit unsure as to what happened, but you could research it yourself. It's always good to research some things. That way you can remember them better, because they'll stand out to you. They'll be more significant because you took your time to research them. Anyway, there's my little rant. And also, a declaration of incompatibility doesn't mean the government has to change the law, but it is likely to anyway. But Parliament can pass a law that contravenes the European Union. They still have the power to do so due to parliamentary supremacy. The effect of the Human Rights Act is a limitation on parliamentary supremacy, but it's not a restriction. So Parliament probably won't want to pass an act that contravenes with Human Rights Act, but it still has the authority to do so. But if it does, that act will probably be challenged.